This is the Hungarian Living Podcast. My name is Landon, and today I'm going to read a Hungarian folktale that my grandmother translated many years ago. When is a student a king?
Hi, welcome to the Hungarian Living Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Szabo. We're on a mission to help you maintain a meaningful connection to Hungarian culture and heritage in a variety of ways. We'll talk about food, travel, history, music, language, genealogy, and more. So whether you know a little or a lot about being Hungarian, this is the place to be.
King Matthias had many students working for him in the palace. One of these students, named Marton Nagy, was out traveling in one of the villages in Hungary when he felt tired and stopped at an inn and knocked at the door. "My name is Marton Nagy," said the student, "and I work in the king's court. Could you give me a room for the night?" Now, many people had heard that the king himself often traveled disguised as a student, so when the owner of the inn, Mr. Andras, saw this young student, he gave him a big welcome. "I won't be fooled like so many others have been," thought Mr. Andras to himself. "This is King Matthias himself, and I will treat him as a king should be treated." "God has brought you to my house, Marton Nagy," spoke Mr. Andras. "Please come in and make yourself at home." Then Mr. Andras turned to his stable hand and called out to him, "János, put the horse up in your room and place a feather bed under him. Give him the very best straw we have in the stable." "But, sir," protested the student, "a horse doesn't belong in a room, and neither does he belong in a feather bed." "You just leave everything to me," said Mr. Andras. "I know where respect is due." Then Mr. Andras took the student into his most beautiful room. For supper he cut up special oxen meat and had a servant prepare a rabbit for the guest's pleasure. Mr. Andras served the student on silver plates and gave him the best wine to drink. All Mr. Andras did was serve his guest. He was very busy running back and forth, trying his best to please the student, and no matter what the student said to him, Mr. Andras' reply was always the same. "You just leave everything to me. I know where respect is due." When King Matthias heard this story about how Mr. Andras treated Marton Nagy, the student, he laughed heartily. "It's too bad Mr. Andras couldn't tell a student from a king." Several months later, King Matthias put on his student dress, as he so often did, and began traveling his kingdom. The king decided to stop at Mr. Andras' inn to see what sort of fellow he was. "Good evening, sir," said the disguised king. "My name is Matthias. I am a student in the king's court." "Well, though," Mr. Andras said to himself, "I won't be made a fool of this time." "Put the horse in the stable and give him some food," called Mr. Andras to János, his stable boy. "And we will put this student in the same room with you, János. Take care of him." Mr. Andras thought, "Indeed, I have some brains in my head, too. Every student isn't a king. And this time my neighbors won't laugh at me the way they did the last time I treated a student as the king." János, the stable boy, took good care of the student. Together they ate and drank and had hours of fine talk. Early the next morning, the student spoke to János. "By the way, I forgot to give this letter to Mr. Andras. Take it, will you, János, and go straight to Mr. Andras' room with it." When Mr. Andras read the letter, he was a very surprised man. It said, "I command my good follower, Georg Andras, to take leave immediately with his stable boy János and come to Buda. I have some things I would like to talk to him about. King Matthias." "Bring that student here quickly," called Mr. Andras. "Let us find out from him what the king wants." By the time János got back to his room, the student, together with his horse, was gone. A short time later, Mr. Andras took leave to visit the city of Buda. The king happened to be in his garden when Mr. Andras arrived. Mr. Andras could see the king's beautiful robe all glittering with finery. As he entered the gate, Mr. Andras bowed deeply 3 times before he even got close to the king. Standing before the king, Mr. Andras bowed low once again, and then spoke to him. "Your Majesty, you commanded me to come before you." But when Mr. Andras looked at the king's face, the words stuck in his throat. The king quickly began giving orders. "Take this man's horse and put it in one of my rooms, and put a soft feather bed under him, too. That's what Mr. Andras did when one of my students paid him a visit. It's the least we can do." "Your noble Majesty," started Mr. Andras. But the king didn't allow him a word and continued quickly. "János, the stable boy, will be my guest. Dress him in the finest clothes and seat him at my table. And Mr. Andras will be the guest of my stable boy." Poor Mr. Andras was too embarrassed to move. Well, well, Mr. Andras, were you joking with me? Asked the king. My student was treated as a king is treated, but when I was your guest, you treated me as a student. But, your most noble majesty, began Mr. Andras, how does a man know when you are a king? That's not the only thing you have to watch out for, my friend, answered the king. You also have to know when the student is a king, and when the king is a student. Mr. Andras just nodded without saying a word. But now, laughed the king, I have had my joke on you too, so come and be my guest. We shall have a good time before you leave. Thank you for joining us for today's Hungarian Living Podcast, special edition of Hungarian Folktales. When is a student a king?
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode of the Hungarian Living Podcast, please share it with someone you know who loves their Hungarian heritage. And sign up for our newsletter and catalog at HungarianLiving.com. There's a link in the show notes. Special thanks to Stephen Chichek and the Animal Cannibals for the show music.